नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Reading from the book Sri Ishopanishad by His Divine Grace Vishwaguru Abhay Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Mantra 3. असुर्या नाम ते लोका अन्धेन तमसा वृताः तांस्ते प्रेत्याभिगच्छन्ति ये के चात्महनो जनाः. Word to word meaning. Asuryaha meant for the Asuras. Nama famous by the name. Te those. Lokaha planets. Andhena by ignorance. Tamasa by darkness. Avritaha covered. Tan those planets. Te they. Pretya after death. Abhigachanti enter into. Ye anyone. Ke everyone. Cha and Atmahanaha the killers of the soul. Janaha persons. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The killer of the soul, whoever he may be, must enter into the planets known as the worlds of the faithless, full of ignorance and darkness. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Human life is distinguished from animal life due to its heavy responsibilities. Those who are cognizant of these responsibilities and who work in that spirit are called suras or godly persons. And those who are neglectful of these responsibilities or who have no information of them are called asuras or demons. Throughout the universe, there are only these two types of human being. In the Rig Veda, it is stated that the Suras always aim at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord Vishnu and act accordingly. Their ways are as illuminated as the path of the sun. Intelligent human beings must always remember that the soul obtains a human form after an evolution of many millions of years in the cycle of transmigration. The material world is sometimes compared to an ocean, and the human body is compared to a solid boat designed especially to cross this ocean. The Vedic scriptures and the acharyas or saintly teachers are compared to the expert boatmen, and the facilities of the human body are compared to favorable breezes that help the boat ply smoothly to its desired destination. If, with all these facilities, a human being does not fully utilize his life for self realization, he must be considered Atmaha, a killer of the soul. Sri Ishopanishad warns in clear terms that the killer of the soul is destined to enter into the darkest region of ignorance to suffer perpetually. We will continue to read the purport, but before that, we shall discuss the points that we have read so far. So, we are studying this book, Sri Ishopanishad. Ishopanishad is one among the 108 principal Upanishads, And as we have discussed before, Isha means the supreme controller, the supreme lord. Upanishad means to come closer. So Ishopanishad is that book of knowledge by understanding which we can come closer to the Supreme Lord. We can realize our relationship with the Supreme Lord. So far, we have seen the invocation mantra, which describes that the Supreme Lord is complete in Himself and everything that is coming out of Him is also complete units. And the Supreme Lord has made complete arrangements for the maintenance and sustenance of every being in this material world. When we connect ourselves with the Supreme Lord, then we can realize our completeness. This is what we understood from the invocation mantra, Purnamidam Purnamada, that mantra. Then we saw the first mantra, Ishavasyam Idam Sarvam, after which this Upanishad is named as Ishavasya Upanishad or simply Ishopanishad. So Ishavasya Idam Sarvam means everything that is present in this material world, both animate and inanimate entities, are controlled and owned by the Supreme Lord, Isha. And we should accept only that which has been designated as our quota, and we should always be conscious that we are not the proprietor, but the Supreme Lord Krishna is the proprietor. This is what we understood in the first mantra of Ishopanishad. In the second mantra, it says that one can aspire to live for hundreds of years and one can lead his life very successfully if he adopts this principle that was mentioned in mantra 1, that Ishavasya principle, that nothing belongs to me. Lord is the supreme proprietor and controller. I should simply act as his servant. If one adopts this mentality, one can work in this material world, one can live in this world for hundreds of years and still remain free from karma bandhana, the bondage to our actions. There is no other way to escape this bondage of karma. One should simply adopt this Ishavasya consciousness, understanding that nothing belongs to me, everything belongs to Krishna, and all my abilities, my body, my mind, my talents, everything has been given to me by Krishna. I should be conscious of this always and I should act as per his instruction. So, this is the way to act in Ishavasya consciousness. And in this way, even if you live for hundreds of years in this world, you will not be entangled in the actions and reactions of your activities. Now, today we have begun the mantra 3 of Ishopanishad. Here it says, Asurya nama te loka andhena tamasavritaha. Loka means planet. Lokaha here, plural. Lokaha means planets. Asurya nama, those planets which are known as Asurya, or those planets which are meant for the Asuras. So there are two categories of personalities in this material world, Suras and Asuras. Sura means the Devatas or the godly men, and Asuras are the demons, the non godly personalities. So, always in this world, two categories of people exist. Hmm? So, it is mentioned in the Vishnu Purana, Prabhupada quotes this. Vishnu bhaktat bhavet daivaha, Vishnu bhaktat smritet daivaha, asuram tadviparyayaha. Those who are Vishnu bhaktaha, those who are devotees of the Supreme Lord Vishnu, those who abide by his orders, those who consider themselves to be amshas or parts and parcels of Lord Vishnu, and those who engage in his service, they are known as Devatas or Suras. But those who are inimical of the Supreme Lord Vishnu, those who do not accept the overlordship of the Supreme Lord, They are known as Asura. In the 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna elaborately describes the qualities and mentality, the thinking of Asuras. We should not think Asuras means they should look ferocious, they should have some sharp claws or protruding canines, they should have a fearful face, only then they are known as Asura. No, nothing like that. This Asura is actually a mentality that is being referred to here in the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So there Krishna says, those who are Asura, what do they do? What is their conception in life? Kamopabhoga parama etavad iti nishchitaha. Nishchitaha means they have decided, they have concluded in their life. Kama upabhoga parama. The goal of human life, they say, demoniac people say, is to maximize sense gratification. Kama upabhoga parama. Parama means the highest purpose, the greatest goal. They think that the goal of human life is to maximize sense gratification, sense pleasure. This is the thinking of a asura. When a person thinks like this, then he is known as asura. One who thinks that I exist simply to gratify my senses, I want to simply maximize my sense pleasure, and I'm living for that purpose only. One who thinks like that, he is called asura. And they have no doubts about it. Huh? Many times people might have doubt about what is the goal of their life, but an asura has no doubt. Etavad iti nishchitaha. Nishchitaha means he has decisively concluded that kamopabhoga parama. The goal of my life is sense gratification. Such a person is called asura. And what is the result of this? Chintam aparimeyam cha pralayantam upashvitaha. Because of this, there is always chinta. A person who has made temporary enjoyment as the permanent goal of his life, such a person, till the end of his life, he is engulfed with all kinds of anxieties and worries. Chintam aparimeyam. Aparimeyam means immeasurable. He is always thinking about, sense gratification, and the result of this is he is worried. Will my plans for sense enjoyment succeed or not? Will others overtake me in sense pleasures, in sense enjoyment? So there is always an anxiety. Udvigna manaha. If you see in the seventh canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Prahalad Maharaj also said the same thing to his demoniac father, Hiranyakashipu. He said, if you have made, because you have made temporary things in this world as the purpose of your life, you have been engulfed with so much of udvigna, my dear father. Even though you have become a very powerful ruler, even great devatas have submitted to you, but I see that sada samudvigna dhyam, your mind is always disturbed. You're not at peace, my dear father. The reason for this is you have asat graha, you have accepted temporary things as the goal of your life. So that is the mentality of a asura. We should definitely not become asuras. We should not make temporary material pleasure as the goal of our life. So what happens to such asuras? The Ishopanishad mantra 3 is describing those who have this asuric mentality, those who have made material pleasure as the sole purpose of their life. What happens to them? Asurya namate loka andhena tamasavritaha. Tamste pretya abhigachanti. Abhigachanti means they enter into such a planet which is filled with, which is andhena, ignorance, tamasa, darkness, avritaha, covered. Their consciousness is covered by ignorance. Therefore, they are forced to enter this planets known as Asurya Nama Lokaha. They enter the world of the faithless. And what happens? What kind of people? These are Ishopanishad describes these kind of people with a very special word, a very special name. Eke cha atmahano janaha. These janaha, these people, what are they called as? Atmahanaha, the killers of the soul. They are known as Atma Hanaha. Hanaha means to kill, or those who kill. Atma Hanaha. Now, somebody may ask a question: how is it possible to kill Atma? We have studied in the Bhagavad Gita that the Atma is birthless, it is deathless, no weapon can cause any harm to it. Then how can the soul be killed? What is the meaning of this exactly? Atma Hanaha. Yes, actually, Atma Hanaha means definitely you cannot kill the soul is eternal, but when the purpose of the soul is being, uh, it is being destroyed, when people do not understand that the purpose of the soul is to become free from the cycle of birth and death, the purpose of the soul is to achieve liberation. The purpose of the soul is to go back to Krishna and engage in his loving service. When they do not understand this purpose, then they are known as Atmahanaha. They are known as Atmahana, one who destroys the purpose of his existence.
Does USA have any cuisine?
May I request Somnath to please
Elections.
mute yourself?
Does USA have
Somnath,
any cuisine?
thank you. So, Asurya namate loka andhena tamasavృతాః tamste pretyabhigachanti eke cha atmahano janaha. The killer of the soul, Atmahanaha, whoever he may be, eke, must enter into the planets pretyabhigachati, known as the worlds of the faithless. Asurya nama te lokaha andhena tamasavృతాః, full of darkness and ignorance. That means Ishopanishad is giving a warning to us. If you do not understand and follow this Ishavasya conception that has been described in the first mantra, and you simply lead a life based on material sense pleasure, then you're going to get degraded. You're going to lose this valuable human form of life. So, human form of life we have got after taking repeated births and deaths in different species of life, after going through all those things. So that is why Bhagavatam says, Idam sambhavante, bahu sambhavante. This human form of life is bahu sambhavante. After many, many times taking birth and giving up the body, we have got this human life. So it's an opportunity to develop spiritual knowledge and become free from ignorance and develop our loving relationship with Krishna. Actually, Srila Prabhupada says this human form of life is a loophole in the repeated cycle of birth and death. Loophole means it's an escape route. Escape route from the repeated birth and death is possible only in human life. And if we do not utilize it, we become asura and we get degraded to lower species. We lose this wonderful opportunity. So, therefore, human life is actually said to be a life of great responsibility. So, what is this responsibility? Already we have discussed about it. To realize to at least theoretically realize that I am not the body, I am soul. And then, with the help of the instructions given by a bona fide spiritual master, we should engage in devotional service to the Lord. This is the Sura life, the life of a godly person. So Prabhupada is quoting the Rig Veda mantra in this purport. Om Vishnoho yat paramam padam sada pashyanti surayah diviva chakshuratatam tad vipraso vipanyavo jagravava samsamindhate Vishnoho yat paramam padam. So this is a mantra, Vedic mantra from the Rig Veda. What is the meaning of this? Vishnoho yat paramam padam sada pashyanti surayaha. The suras, the godly persons, the devatas are those who actually look up to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu and consider the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu as the primary goal of their life. Those who consider Lord Vishnu as the primary goal of their life, they are known as Surayaha or Suras, they are known as the Devatas or godly persons. So, and their path, Diviva Chakshuratatam Tadvipraso Vipanyavo. So their paths are illuminated by as the path of the sun. That means they are walking through a very illuminated path. That means they are progressing towards eternal life full of knowledge and bliss. So this is the meaning of making Lord Vishnu's lotus feet as the goal of our life, right? So, but those who make sense gratification as the goal of their life, they get degraded, they go to the dark path, as we have discussed. Andhena tamasavritaha. So their consciousness is dull, it is lacking knowledge. Therefore, they are forced to enter into hellish planets, which are also dark and filled with ignorance. Right? So that means two different mentalities, two different pro- uh, types of lives they lead, and the destinations are also two different things, two different ways. So if you make Lord Vishnu as the goal of your life, even in this material world, when you are living, you can lead a very peaceful life, free from anxiety, free from worries. You always know that the Lord is protecting me. I don't have to worry. The Lord is my maintainer. And after giving up this body, you will go back to the spiritual world and lead an eternal life in the association of the Lord. But if we make sense gratification as the goal of life, even while living in this world, there is so much of hard work to get sense objects. And after securing those sense objects, there is no guarantee whether you'll be satisfied or not. And mind will be filled with so much of anxieties and worries and stress, depression. And after this giving up this body, there is a hellish life awaiting us. You see? So Ishopanishad is giving us a warning. Don't become a Atmaha. Don't become killer of the soul. Use this human form of life to elevate yourself. And Srila Prabhupada says this beautiful analogy mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam, boat, breeze, and captain. This we have discussed previously also. Boat, this human body is compared to a boat which can help us cross this ocean of material existence. And the bona fide spiritual master is the captain who will guide the boat across this ocean. And the instructions given in the Vedic scriptures, they act like favorable breeze, which can help the boat sail towards its desired destination. So we should make the best use of this BBC, boat, breeze, and captain. That is the summary of the process of self realization as explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam. I'll just read one more paragraph and then we will close. There are swine, dogs, camels, asses, etc., whose economic necessities are just as important to them as ours are to us. But the economic problems of these animals are solved only under nasty and unpleasant conditions. The human being is given all facilities for a comfortable life by the laws of nature because the human form of life is more important and valuable than animal life. Why is man given a better life than that of the swine and other animals? Why is a highly placed government servant given better facilities than those of an ordinary clerk? The answer is that a highly placed officer has to discharge duties of a higher nature. Similarly, the duties human beings have to perform are higher than those of animals who are always engaged in simply feeding their hungry stomachs. Yet, the modern soul killing civilization has only increased the problems of the hungry stomach. When we approach a polished animal in the form of a modern civilized man and ask him to take interest in self realization, he will say that he simply wants to work to satisfy his stomach and that there is no need of self realization for a hungry man. The laws of nature are so cruel, however, that despite his denunciation of the need for self realization and his eagerness to work hard to fill his stomach, he is always threatened by unemployment. So, Prabhupada is making a comparative study of animal life and human life. Human beings have been given higher uh, consciousness, higher intelligence. We are able to speak, articulate our thoughts in various languages, whereas animals do not have all these abilities. Animals might be speaking, but it is not a very sophisticated language uh, like the human language. And animals, uh, they are always involved in bodily necessities, fulfilling their bodily necessities, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya, Maithunam. So theirs is not a very advanced way of living, right? Human beings, we see how we are so inquisitive. We have figured out many laws of nature, law of gravity, so many things human beings have figured out. That means we have been given higher intelligence. So the question is, why have we been given higher intelligence than the animals? So Prabhupada gives an analogy. Suppose if you go to a government office, there there are different kinds of different ranks and files of employees working there, government servants. Somebody is an ordinary clerk, while somebody is a highly placed officer. A clerk, he has to simply sit on probably one chair. He would not be given he will be having only one chair and desk, and to work, he has to keep accounts. That is his work. But a big officer, he is given a separate chamber in an AC room. He will be given many more facilities. There will be many people who will be reporting to him, and many more luxuries. His pay also will be high compared to the clerk. So you may say both are government servants. Why the clerk is given less payment of salary, and why he has not been given all those facilities which are given to the officer? Why he is not given a AC room and a chamber and all of those things? So the answer to this question is the highly placed officer has to discharge duties of a higher nature. Why has he been given higher facilities? Because his duties and responsibilities are much higher than an ordinary clerk's duties and responsibilities. In the same way, why human beings have been given higher intelligence than the animals? Because human beings have got higher duties to perform. Human beings are supposed to be busy in self realization. Animals are busy in sense gratification. That's why they have been not given higher facilities. But human beings have been given higher intelligence, abilities, speech, and so many other different talents. Why? Because we are supposed to be using all of them to attain self realization. Just like the government officer will be given higher facilities. So instead of using these higher facilities given to us by the Lord for self realization, if we are simply using these facilities to do the same old thing which we were doing in animal forms of life also, simply doing sense gratification, then we are called Atmaha, killer of the soul. It's a very heavy word. Atmaha, killer of the soul. So Prabhupada is saying the modern civilization is a soul killing civilization, because the modern civilization is definitely making advancement in science and technology, but the purpose of all of this is to maximize sense gratification. So such people are actually polished animals, being very proud that we are able to now go to the Mars. We will have a human colony there, and thinking that we are very advanced. After going to the Mars, what are you going to do, sir? We are going to do the same old thing: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, sense gratification. Then we are actually modern, we are simply polished animals. We should understand, we should take interest in self realization. We are so fortunate that we have these Vedic scriptures presented to us in such a pure manner by Srila Prabhupada, such an easy way to understand. So easily, Srila Prabhupada makes us understand through analogies, through examples in his books. So, if we do not make use of these opportunities given to us, then we are definitely killing the soul. We are actually committing a suicide, right? Committing suicide means what? Not knowing what is the purpose of life and simply getting degraded back into the repeated birth and death cycle. So we should not do that. We should not simply be interested in animal propensities. We should be interested in self realization. We should make the best use of association of devotees that we have been blessed with. There are millions of people in this world. Not everybody gets this opportunity to hear the scriptures, to discuss in the association of devotees. We are all very blessed by the by our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. So we must make use of this so that we don't come back again to this miserable material existence after this life. So we should make a determined program of work that this lifetime will be my last lifetime in this material world, and I'm going back to Krishna after this. Therefore, I should be very serious in devotional service. I should chant Hare Krishna mantra with utmost attention, with bhakti, with full attention. I should study the scriptures given by Srila Prabhupada in a nice way, diligently. I should serve in, in the association of devotees. I should take the best use, advantage of all these facilities and make progress. Otherwise, we are called Atmaha, killer of the soul, as mentioned in this third mantra of Ishopanishad. There is some more points explained by Srila Prabhupada in the purport. We will read that in the next session and discuss. Any questions before we close? Okay, thank you very much for your valuable time. We shall meet again in the next session. Shri Ishopanishad ki jai, Vishwaguru
जय
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
जय
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण
Hare
प्रभु
Hare
हरे